In today's America, we currently have the Democratic nominee for President of the United States outwardly calling for gun registration, gun confiscation, assault weapons bans.
I'm also in favor of the assault weapons ban, of universal background checks, red flag laws.
We have the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms going door to door, shaking people down, and in some instances, putting a bullet in their head with no trial at all. Mitch McConnell is soon to be retiring. Who's set to take his place? A name we've talked about a lot on these segments, Senator John Cornyn, the same senator who gave us the biggest gun control expansion in the last 30 years.
Howdy, everybody.
Time and time again, your Second Amendment rights have been brushed to the side. They've been ignored. They've been trampled upon. Not today. Today, we bring to you some of the most exciting pro-gun news that we have ever had the privilege of speaking about, and I am happy to report and do so. Now, for those of you that have followed the National Association for Gun Rights since inception, old members, new members, and everyone in between, you probably understand that constitutional carry has been our flagship bill, and we have managed to pass a version in 29 states, countless hours of work, millions of dollars spent. But the United States Constitution does not apply to 29 states. It applies to all 50 states, which is why we wanted to team up with a member of Congress to introduce legislation that would afford those rights to everybody across all 50 states, not just those 29 states. And that is exactly what we did with Representative Thomas Massie of Kentucky. Friend of the program, you've heard us talk about him a lot, one of the best gun votes in Congress, and no other member of Congress should carry this bill besides Thomas Massie. On Wednesday, Mr. Massie introduced the most pro-gun bill Congress has ever seen, H.R. 9534, the National Constitutional Carry Act. Unfortunately, not every American enjoys the same right to carry firearms in public because some states and localities infringe upon this right through a variety of criminal, civil, and regulatory penalties. By prohibiting state or local restrictions on the right to keep and bear arms, H.R. 9534 upholds the original purpose of the Second Amendment to ensure the security of a free state while safeguarding individual liberties against government infringement. So, bill's been introduced. What happens now? Well, obviously it's going to pass the House, it'll pass the Senate, and then Joe Biden will sign it into law. Everybody's rights are restored. We go on our merry way. That's not how it's going to work. So, why are we doing this now? Because these things take time. When we're dealing with large pieces of legislation, monumental pieces of legislation, actual legislation and policy to restore your God-given rights, it takes time, money, and talent. Let's look at the state of Texas, for example. The National Association for Gun Rights spent 10 years and over $2 million in one state to pass one constitutional carry bill. These do not happen overnight. There are things that need to be done. We need to get co-sponsors. We need to message. We need to prop this issue up and make it a cause, an issue. It is going to be a fight. These fights are always long. They are always hard. It is a fight the National Association for Gun Rights, alongside Thomas Massie, is prepared to fight every single day, and that is exactly what it's going to take. We will not stop until the job is done. But let's make no mistake about this. In order for this to become reality, the members of the National Association for Gun Rights will drive the boat on this. Yes, we will work tirelessly on Capitol Hill, talking to members of Congress, trying to whip votes, trying to acquire co-sponsors. We have already actually acquired 22 co-sponsors, 6 of which I want to read off to you right now because they are some of the best members of the United States House of Representatives right now. Rep. Andy Biggs, Arizona. Rep. Josh Burkeen, Oklahoma. Rep. Bob Good, Virginia. Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Georgia. Rep. Andy Ogles, Tennessee. And Rep. Chip Roy, Texas. Now, I just read you 6 names. You're not going to pass anything in Congress with 6 votes. And this is where you come into play. Call your representative, demand they get onto this bill. The most pro-gun bill in Congress right now, your representative needs to be on. And if they're not, they will see us during election season. Call your rep, click the link, sign your petition, demand that this bill become reality. because it deserves to see the light of day. Your rights deserve to be restored across the entire country, not just 29 states.